I need something juicy in my asshole. That's why I'm looking under this specific flare. It kind of ruins it, you know, because you kind of know. But it's, they don't even need to be the asshole. I just need some juice because I'm reading stories that are like, I was at McDonald's and I was at the drive-thru and I finished my drive-thru order before the guy in the other drive-thru line and I went in front of him, but he was mad because he was like 2 seconds behind me and he thought that he got it, but it was really me. And am I the asshole? And it's like, no, you're not the asshole. Like, why am I? This is a boring. This is like basic. This is like a Dhar Mann video of like who's the bad guy. It's blatantly obvious. But anyways, would I be the asshole if I stole a blind guy's seat? Which I will say, it's not sounding good for you out the gate. It's not sounding good. I'm currently a college student, and today is the first day of classes. Last semester, I took a class with a blind guy who likes to sit on the first row just like I do. The only thing is that he was in what to me was the best seat. And why does a blind guy need the best seat in the room view-wise? You know what? I will say this. Even though you're clearly labeled an asshole here, and this might be a hot take, I think that you're making a good point here. How good, view-wise, does his seat need to be? But anyways, this was like the first week of classes, so I just got there earlier than him and sat in said seat. I'm going to be real with you. Okay, I just instantly thought of why this could backfire on you. If he can't see, he probably just has a feel of where his seat is. He can't see that you're sitting in it. You understand what I'm saying here? Like... listen, I know I'm already in bad terms because some people get real worked up about the things I say in videos, even though it's hardly ever that big of a deal. If he has to feel his way to his seat, it would make sense that his seat would be in the same space every single day or the same spot every single day. So yeah, I mean, you're an asshole. You know, you do make a valid point about the view from the seat not mattering. Okay, I will say that. I'm not taking that back. The view, who cares what the view is for the blind guy? However, the location of said seat is probably something he can easily kind of memorize. He moved my stuff out of the chair and threw it on the floor. So me and him had a discussion after he removed my book bag from my seat, the seat he had previously sat in, and I told him that was my seat and I'd appreciate it if he didn't sit in it or remove my property from it. Skip to the same classroom, same seat. Would I be the asshole if I sit in his seat? He doesn't need it for accommodation, so I figured it's not a big deal if I sit in the seat. I feel like I could be the asshole if I sit in the seat because my mom and sister told me I shouldn't fight with a blind guy over a seat. That's a pretty accurate thing, you know? I was willing to play devil's advocate and be the guy who's like, why does he need a good view, you know? However, like, why do you have beef with a blind guy, you know? Like, who cares? Like, could you sit next to him maybe? Like, how good is this view just absolutely insane? Like, are you going to take the best potential notes ever on the planet sitting at the seat? I mean, you're an asshole, man. You're an asshole, and it almost feels like a negative 48 karma. You're the asshole. I'm assuming the seats in the classroom are not arranged in a single file and each one having poorer visibility than the next. So sitting one or two over should not affect your ability to listen, learn in class at all. By contrast, the blind guy may be better able to find his seat. He may have a better sense of how the room is oriented from his seat. We're just going to stop there because that's exactly what I said. I asked him. He said he didn't need the seat. Just ask him if he'd mind switching seats. Yeah, just stop taking his seat. He's blind. You can't tell. Well, you just start taking his seat out of your way to make some disabled guy's life more difficult. It's just a very weird person to have beef with. Like, blind people? Come on, man. Everyone sucks here, but mostly you. Why does everyone suck? Have you had an actual conversation with him? How do you know he doesn't need it for accommodation? Someone can be blind without having no vision at all. He may be able to see some of the class, or the seat may be easier for him to reach than one in the back row. Is it stadium seating? I spoke with him when he threw my stuff on the floor. I asked him if he needed it for an accommodation, and if so, I wouldn't sit here ever again. He said he didn't need an accommodation, and I could sit there. I'm so confused. Because it sounds like they weren't cool about it. Like, you're just weird. I have a feeling that you're socially super weird. Like, he's just like, he doesn't want to start shit with somebody because he's blind, maybe. Soft, you are the asshole here. Not the asshole. Just because he's blind doesn't give him the right to be an asshole. Keep the seat if you want it. It's college, not preschool with assigned seats. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. The back and forth. Just because he's blind doesn't give him the right to be an asshole. I mean, it kind of gives him like certain privileges when it comes to sitting in certain seats, you know? The seat towards the front. He probably went to go sit in the seat, felt something there. It's probably really awkward. I don't know. I'm not blind. I'd imagine it's kind of awkward getting around, you know? You got it. It's rough, you know, to take the, yeah, I'm going to play devil's advocate and I'm going to be the guy who's judgmental of the blind guy. Next, you're going to tell me that like you skipped the line at Disney World and the person that you skipped in front of was like a child from the Make-A-Wish Foundation or something. And it's like, well, you know, just because they're a kid doesn't give them the right to just get there are no assigned seats. It's first come, first serve. He's blind. It's a blind guy though. It's a blind guy, you know? At a certain point, it's like once the blind guy finds his seat, to me, that's his assigned seat. Like, even if we don't have assigned seats, he's blind. Like, what the fuck? He's blind. I feel like this is so... Like, am I crazy for thinking this? I can't be, right? I mean, I can be. I could potentially just be way off on this. But in my head, I'm thinking, like, if I know this guy's blind, and that's obvious that's his seat, I know that's the seat he feels most comfortable getting to, consistently coming into the classroom. I don't care that no one else has assigned seats. To me, that dude has an assigned seat. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like how some people in wheelchairs get those special sections of the movie theater, you know, because they're in wheelchairs. I'm not going to go and be like, well, what if I want that? What if I want to be in that area? I'm going to bring in my own little foldable chair and set it up there. No, I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. You're the asshole with an extra A. You're the asshole. You don't get to decide. The blind person doesn't need that seat. He doesn't have to explain to you why he needs that seat. Sit in the next seat and shut up. On one hand, your way of thinking is wrong. He has just as much right to sit in that seat as you do, regardless of whether he has the best view. You definitely don't have more right than him or any other person in the class. On the other hand, being blind doesn't give you the right to be a bitter, spiteful person, which is what he seems to be. What? He moved the stuff off the floor. He didn't. The blind guy didn't say anything. Oh my God. I can't be like, this has to be some. I know that Reddit is probably filled with like socially awkward people, but are there really people that would see like a blind guy like move, like a blind guy that normally sits in the same seat? They would watch him like kind of push stuff off a chair and then go to sit down and they'd be like, what the fuck? This guy seems like a bitter asshole. And it's like, no, I think he just can't see. I think he felt his way to a seat and he was just like, what is this? I need to sit down. And he like moved that out of the way, pushed it over, whatever. And it's like, I'm sorry, man. Having beef with a blind person is just like the funniest shit to me. Like how, I don't know. It just sounds crazy, but let's consider here. Give you the right to be a bitter, spiteful person, which is what he seems to be. There was no need to throw your things on the floor. I think he probably pushed them over. I don't think he picked up the things and like threw them away. I think it was literally like, you know, and then I'm going to sit down, but I could be wrong. A simple, hey, could I have this spot for obvious reasons would have sufficed. I do judo with a lot of blind people, many of them Paralympians ranked 4th, 6th, and 6th in their categories, and I can assure you that none of them are jerks to others, nor do they throw other stuff on the floor. I don't understand the relevance of that in this particular situation. But I hope I don't get cursed out too much for this. I don't feel like it, especially now that I have a fever, but I'm taking my chances. Well, you shouldn't have risked it. Just for that, I'm not going to respond, but I'm just letting you, you just need to see the downvotes. That's too many downloads, man. You're not going to get your Reddit check this month. Seek therapy and leave the blind man alone. Fair enough, man. Seek therapy, and leave the blind man alone. You're sitting here. This is the problem. You'll only upvote the not the asshole post, so I have to sit here and work extra hard to find these because you downvote them and it like hides them. Anyways, yeah, you're an asshole, man. Stop beefing with a blind dude.